Hi everyone, my name is Hanson with SureGrip. We made this video specifically for the evaluator community to go over some of the more technical aspects of our hand controls. We have three different types or categories of hand control. So the first being is going to be our traditional hand control, which is going to use rods to actuate the throttle and the brake. We then have our cable actuated controls, which is going to use cable for the throttle and a rod again for the brake. And then we have our feather light, which is going to use an electronic sensor for the throttle, and we're going to actuate the brake with a rod. So as an evaluator, you will have at least one of these types of hand controls in your vehicle, and we're going to go over how to remove them, put them in, and what is a good install for you and your client. We're going to go over four primary install components: mounting, brake linkage, handle position, and throttle activation. Between these types of hand controls, the main difference is the throttle activation. This means that a lot of the adjustments that we are going to be talking about work across all types of hand controls. Between our three types of hand controls, we also offer four different styles of handles. The first being push rock, then have push right angle, push pull, and then push and then twist. Between these four different styles, we also offer them on left-handed and right-handed installs.
So before we get too far, I just want to go over some terminology of the hand controls. On the screen, you can see what we call the main body. This is the business end of the hand control system. Specifically, I am showing the push rock traditional. We have our linkage throttle. First, we have the handle. The part you hang on to, most commonly it's plastic. The part attaches to that is known as the control arm. This is the part that passes through the control tube. The control tube is just that, it's the largest part of the hand control body. The control arm attaches to our gas or throttle lever, and that's what actuates the throttle. I first want to point out our tension spring washer. This is where any throttle tension adjustments are made. It is very important to know that our controls do not change from this component over between the different styles of handles. It's a modular system. You can also see the tension spring that is inside the spring housing, and that's what applies the tension when we move our washer. The brake tab is where we attach the brake tube ball joint. It has 3 holes, and the purpose of those are just to change alignment on our tube. The support tube, that's the part that attaches to our support rod that goes into the vehicle, which we'll have a look at later. Last but not least, we have our control arm lock nut. Normally it's going to be covered by a vinyl cover. On our push-pull, things change a little when compared to the push rock. We have what's called a pivot block that moves the control arm, and this is what allows us to have a short throw. The mechanism on the push right angle is going to be flipped at 90 degrees, but it is essentially the same. Again, from the tension spring washer over, nothing changes between styles of handle. There are a few differences when it comes to hand control types. Now we have a push rock cable, right-handed to be exact, but we also have left. On the screen, an exploded diagram, and you can see that we've replaced our throttle lever with a cable cam, number 4. We also add number 5, a cable guide bracket, and that's actually what holds our cable to the hand control, and then we have a guard that goes over the top. We are looking at now a Featherlight push rock left side exploded diagram. You can see when it comes to the Featherlight, we have a few more differences than between the cable and traditional. We have 2 springs in the spring housing, and this is to be FMVSS compliant. But adjusting the tension is the same throughout all of our hand controls. This is a closer look at where the magic happens. We have replaced our gas lever with a gas plate. Then we have a sensor bracket. The tab collar is what connects the gas plate to the sensor. Now on the end of the hand control, we have the sensor.
Between our different styles of handle that we offer, our 4 primary install components will not change by much. The exception of that being handle position and our push rock, but we'll see that later. The main purpose of this video is to help you understand good installs and not so good ones, and to be able to communicate with the technical aspects with your dealer and the client on better adjustments for better outcomes.